guys, welcome back to another episode of our podcast, Biblioteca. Today I'm with my favorite exchange teacher, Soraya. Hello, Soraya.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm good, yes, I'm excited to be here.
Every single year we just want to acknowledge our English teachers because we know how hard it is for you to be away from home. Mm-hmm. And I want you to know that we appreciate your hard work.
Thank you.
Throughout the year, yes. And I have not a lot of questions for you, but should we start?
Of course.
So, the first type of questions that I'm going to ask are about the states.
Okay. I know them well.
Yeah, you know them well. So, should we talk about what part of the United States are you from? Because we know.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I am from Wisconsin. Is the state. The city is Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I probably mentioned it a little bit too much in class. But Milwaukee and Wisconsin, they're both in the Midwest region of the United States. So, farther north, a bit colder. I'm about an hour north of Chicago. So that's like, if people don't know where Wisconsin is, then they know where Chicago is. Yeah. But that's where I'm from.
I will ask you some questions about Wisconsin and Milwaukee in particular.
Okay.
So, what do you think are the biggest cultural differences between your country and the state Wisconsin and here, Slovenia, Bulgaria? Okay. What are the main differences?
Yeah. Well, the Midwest in general, or Wisconsin, they're known for being very friendly states. Wisconsin's known to be a very friendly state. And that means you talk to strangers a lot, you smile and say hi to strangers in the streets. And I think that was like initially the biggest cultural difference on face value, was that here in Bulgaria, you kind of just mind your own business. It's not that people are necessarily unfriendly, but you have to get to know them first. Like, they're not just going to smile at anyone on the street. So, like, walking down the pedestrian street, I've gotten used to, like, not
her face.
Yeah, I'm not acknowledging anyone. But if that was maybe a street in Milwaukee, it would be like at least smiling at people, maybe a little head nod, a little hello. So that sort of friendliness is different here.
Yeah, I've noticed that Bulgarians are just they're angry all the time, frowning. Like, and the British people, when I was in London, yeah, they're just frowning all the time. Mm-hmm. And then you make a compliment, your dress is very nice. Oh, thank you. Like, they're actually friendly.
It's not that people are actually mean.
Yeah.
Or that they hate their life. It's just
yeah.
On the surface value, it looks different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, what did you find most surprising when you first arrived here? Because how long it took you to come here? Like, how many flights, first of all?
Only two.
Two.
I flew from O'Hare International Airport in Chicago to Istanbul, and then Istanbul to Sofia. And I spent about a week in Sofia before coming here to Slovenia.
Yeah.
And this is the smallest city that I've ever lived in, so it felt very quiet.
Yeah.
But I've grown to really like that. A big difference for me is the shaking your head difference. Still to this day, like, if I ask a student a question and they'll go like this, I think they're saying no at first, and then they're saying yes. And so that's a big cultural difference that I can't. I do this a bit now, but I can't do this for yes.
There is a story behind the nodding. And,
okay, I don't know it.
I would tell you behind the scenes because it's a bit problematic.
Okay. Not for the podcast.
Not for the podcast, but I will tell you the story. Yeah, okay. It's a myth. It's a legend from our past. But I would tell you. Dara told me. Okay. She educated me on the topic. So I would tell you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that you liked Slovenia because we are living here. We've been here our whole lives. It is quite boring, I gotta say. When we go out with our friends, like our friend group, we don't have anything to do. We go to the same restaurant every single time. We go to the same park because there's only one. And it's like, I can imagine my life in Sofia
It'd be very
how
different.
how many in Varna, Plovdiv, how many things I can do in a day. We don't even have a good cinema. I cannot even go, But that's another topic,
No, for sure. But I think I've grown to like it a bit. I know it's different because I've only been here like 10 months versus you've lived here your entire life.
Yeah.
But it's fun to know a place really well. Like, to have your favorites. You know, like I always, the one restaurant I go to here is Guest. I don't know if that's the one that you go, or you guys like Backstage? Yes. Okay, there's 2 restaurants. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Guest. And I love like the hiking. And I always have the same walk that I do through the one park and stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to be like, oh, I know this place really well. But I can see what you mean about like, you just want a little bit of variety.
But I know I'm going to miss it.
Exactly. That's always the thing. Like, once you're gone, you're like...
I know I'm going to miss it. I want to go to Backstage in October. But no, I'm in university. I can't. So I think it's for everyone, it's the same. Like, we're going to miss Sliven and the school, too.
Yes.
I suppose. Okay, so now I started talking about school. So I'm just going to ask you some questions about education and teaching, the teaching process. Perfect. So why did you choose... Like, do you actually want to be an English teacher, like a teacher, or just it was apart from like the university, and do you want to work this your whole life, or just...
The answer is no.
Okay.
Yeah, so I did not study to be an English teacher. I studied journalism and international relations. And so I don't want to be an English teacher full time. This is actually, I have like 2 more weeks left of being an English teacher, and then I will not do it again. But I wanted to do it for this year because I wanted the chance to live in Bulgaria and have cultural exchange with students and be able to learn from them and teach them about English, but also like American culture and things that I'm really passionate about.
Yes.
And so it was more that was the reason why I wanted to come here and be a teacher, less so I love teaching.
Okay. So, what's the biggest challenge you faced while teaching here? Was there a challenge?
Yes, there was. I think that my expectations for what the classroom would look like would be very different because it was very different from my high school experience. And so I came in with, I was a bit too strict, I would say. And then students really fought back against that with like grades and being on time and things that I just didn't really know were different from Bulgaria and America until after, when other teachers or students were like, yeah, that's not really like how we do things here. And so that was definitely like a learning curve to kind of see how expectations were different here than my experience in school.
Yeah, we definitely noticed you're different from our previous exchange teachers. Like, not only about the late, like being late and stuff like that. We thought, like, I hope this makes it on the podcast because I'm honest. We thought that the teachers told you to do that. Like, we actually thought that because you're a nice person, first of all. We had a lot of fun with your classes. I think your classes were very nice. Like, I actually enjoyed them very much because, like, sometimes last year and the previous year, I was a bit bored because it was always the same thing. It was always the same topics because US is the same US every year. Like, it's not different from the football. Like, wait, how was it called? Is it football?
American football?
American football. It's soccer in England, right?
Oh, we call that soccer, yes.
Soccer. Okay, Dara said that it's not soccer. Dara, it is soccer.
It is soccer.
Okay. So, we actually thought that the teachers decided, we're going to make Soraya
lock in a bit.
Yeah.
No, that was just what I thought. Like, that's just what I thought would be the expectations here. And so then I kind of had to figure that out on my own. I didn't get a lot of, I mean, I knew some cultural things. I had a lot of orientations about teaching and, you know, what's different in Bulgaria, but it was still not what I expected.
Okay.
And so I don't know if you felt throughout the year that I kind of chilled out a bit. but
yeah.
because it's not even that like I'm not a very strict or like this person in general, but that's just what I was like, oh, that's what a teacher is like. And so I was like, I gotta be like that as a teacher. And so then I kind of became more my like actual self as the months progressed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, we noticed that you were a bit chiller.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Sometimes, well, if we weren't like 12th grade, I don't know how it was for the younger students, but because we were 12th grade and we were stressed about whole lot of
you have a lot of other things going on,
and
yeah.
stuff, yeah. So maybe for some students it was a bit more like weird that the extra English classes were just more like you expected more from us, but I didn't see it exactly that way because the projects that you gave were actually nice and interesting.
The thing with expecting more is that like I know that you guys are like smart and like can commit to things, but I know that those levels of like commitment have to go to other things as well. But I was like, I know that you guys can do this. Yeah. I know that you guys are smart. But
and we did it, I think. And it was really fun. So now about the education system, how is the education system different? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I feel like some of the things we talked about already are things I noticed. Another big thing is like you guys take most of your classes with one grade or with one class, like 12B. And you take like almost all your classes with that same 26 students or how many people were in your class. Whereas like every class period, every semester, every year were different people in each class. And I don't know if one's better than the other because like you get to know your class really well here in Bulgaria. Whereas like I feel like I knew a lot of people kind of.
Yeah.
And then obviously I got closer with others. But that's a big difference. Also the extracurricular opportunities are different. Like you guys have the podcast, which kind of is like an extracurricular. Yeah, and there's some sports and things, but I think that there's a wider range in general in most American schools.
Well, what's the logic? You get to choose what you want to study in the States, so that's why it's different people, or just every single.
No, it's just like you're not with one class for every grade. You're not with like the same group of people for every class. Like everyone will be taking freshman English or 9th grade English, but you'll just be in different sections each semester.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't really know like how they do it. And as you grow older, kind of as you guys choose profiles in 11th and 12th grade, like you can choose more of your classes, and so I think that kind of helps with changing the schedules. But yeah, it's just works out scheduling wise that you have like different classes with different people.
I don't know if I will survive this because I cannot live my life without the same girls every single day.
Yeah.
I'm just but it would be fun to try, but I can't. So
yeah,
I just have to imagine. So my next questions are personal and travel experience. So, have you traveled to other countries besides ours? And if so, which was your favorite and why? Like, have you traveled
during this year?
It doesn't matter. What's your favorite country?
Well, during this year, I've been able to travel a bit, which has been really nice. And I actually just this past weekend was able to check off all of the Balkan countries because I went into Albania. So now I have visited all of the Balkan countries, which is really exciting because that's like the region of Europe I'm most interested in, which is why I came to Bulgaria. Yeah. But in terms of my favorite country besides Bulgaria, of course.
Of course.
I studied abroad in Lithuania, and so that country has Litva for in Bulgarian. That country has a very special place in my heart because it was like my first time being abroad for a longer period of time. And I lived right on the Baltic Sea, And so it was very lovely to be so close to the water.
Yeah. You said that you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, I love. I've always grown up by a big body of water in Wisconsin. It was Lake Michigan, and so it's kind of weird here to not be by super close to a big body of water. But I'm close enough to the Black Sea. I've been able to go quite a few times, so that scratches that itch a bit. But yeah, I would say Lithuania. I've also spent a bit of time, and I have some really good friends in Guatemala, so not in Europe. And that country is a very special place in my heart because I've done some like school stuff there, and visited some friends. So I really like it there. Very
That's
different
fun.
from Europe though.
That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I haven't been to Lithuania or Guatemala, but I hope one day.
Yes, of
one
course.
day. Like, I hope there are extra programs in university because I would definitely apply because I think that's fun.
I actually have two really good Bulgarian friends.
Oh.
Who I met when they did Erasmus in Lithuania. So you always do Erasmus, not necessarily in Lithuania, but it's always an option to meet others.
I would definitely want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, now a personal, I guess, question. What's something you miss most about home? Like something, like you are here and you're like, oh my God, I miss this.
Well, I miss being close to my family and friends. That is like, on a more serious note, like that is something that is hard because I've missed like birthdays or like my brother's graduation, stuff like that. It's just sad to be away from that. Or like I missed a friend's wedding this past weekend.
Okay.
And so that was sad I couldn't be there. But I also miss Chipotle.
Oh my God.
On a less serious note, I love Chipotle.
Don't get me started.
It was my last meal in the U.S. before flying here, and it will be my first meal returning.
I tried it in London.
Did you like this past weekend?
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing.
Oh my gosh.
It was amazing.
Did you get a burrito? Did you get a bowl?
Yeah, I got a burrito. I didn't know how to order the bowl because I was not sure what should I put inside. So I was like, what's your favorite burrito? And she told me, and she made me her favorite burrito.
And it was good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I love Chipotle very much.
Was good.
Yeah, and I miss Lake Michigan and being close there. And my car a bit. Like, I love being able to walk around here, and I love the public transportation in Europe so much. But having a car is just kind of a little bit more convenient in some ways.
Well, I still, like, when we talk about cars, I don't have my driver's license yet.
You don't need it, though. That's the thing.
I'm so lazy. I don't want to
You'll get it eventually.
Yeah, I will try this summer.
Okay.
I will try. But I don't promise anything. I don't think it's going to work, but I will try.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what's one thing you've really come to enjoy about living here? You talked about it, like the quietness, first of all, but an activity perhaps. Did you find something interesting in Slovenia that
I love the hiking here.
The hiking,
I'm a big fan of hiking, but it's just right there, you know? Like I can walk like 20 minutes from my apartment and then I'm in like the foothills and it's very pretty and I really like that. So I've done quite a bit of hiking. And
did you go to the cinema?
I actually haven't been to the cinema here.
Oh.
No, I'm trying to think if there's a movie out that I'd want to watch. I don't know. I like know where it is, but it kind of...
It's close to Hemingway.
Yeah, like, so... but it looks...
weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like a cinema.
I also don't go to the movies that often, even in like the US, and so unless it's like for a movie I really want to see.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I love Magnolia, the cafe. You were actually the one to introduce me to Magnolia. Of like you pointed it out when it was still closed, and I've actually become pretty close with the owners.
Oh.
They invited me to Thanksgiving, which was really sweet. Like the first day I met Plamena, she was like, "You're American? You're coming to Thanksgiving with us. No American should be allowed on Thanksgiving." And I was like, I almost cried like when she sent me that.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and so they just left to go back, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it was very sad. I gave her a card and she cried, which was so sweet. But I really love, and they have really good food there. The peanut butter balls, that's like a Midwest specialty. They're called Buckeyes. And so when she told me about those, I was like, it was like a little piece of home.
Perfect. Yeah.
But I love Magnolia.
It's an amazing place. Everyone should go to Magnolia.
Yes.
Yeah. We should tag them. Yeah. So now some fun, light questions.
Okay.
3 questions left.
Okay.
So if someone visited your hometown, what local food or activity would you recommend they try? Is it Chipotle?
Well, okay, yes, but that's not local, I would say.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not. Yeah, now that I think about it.
But kind of in that vein, I would say you should get Mexican food because there's not really a good Mexican restaurant anywhere in Europe that I've found. It's just like not as big of a thing, but like there's so many good Mexican restaurants in Milwaukee. Because there's a large Hispanic community there. And like the chips and salsa, get some good tacos. I am so excited to eat that when I get back. But I would recommend that. And then also there's a bagel shop actually just opened up in my neighborhood. And I would recommend to try bagels because they're not, at least not here in Steven, there's not a bagel place. There's like gevrek, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
But it's different.
And it's bigger, I guess. And it's, bagels are salty, right?
Yeah.
Gevrek?
It's sweeter.
Yeah, it's sweeter. But yeah, it's similar,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I would say bagels or... Oh, and Wisconsin's really known for cheese.
Cheese?
Cheese curds. Have you heard of a cheese curd?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Show a photo.
Yeah, put a picture here of cheese curds. They're they're super unhealthy. They're like deep fried cheese. So it's like breaded and then you fry them. And so then when you bite into it, like the cheese like pulls.
Okay, I got it.
Yes.
There's something similar in Bulgaria, but the cheese doesn't pull. It's just cheese inside.
Yeah.
So it's not the same.
But yeah, it's similar taste. But cheese curds is like a Wisconsin specialty.
Yeah. Nice. Okay, so can you teach us a completely different question? Can you teach us a slang word or expression that people often use in your area? Is there?
Oh.
Are there any?
I don't know if there's a specific slang word, but okay, this one is very niche to Milwaukee. Do you know what a bubbler is?
I'm not sure.
No. It is the Milwaukee word for a drinking fountain. A bubbler.
A bubbler?
Yeah, so like when you're like in school, you're like, oh, can I go get a drink from the bubbler?
Oh.
But that's like really only specific to Wisconsin. Like if you were to say that, say, in Texas or New York, they'd be like, what are you talking about? I don't know where it comes from, but yeah, a bubbler.
You like the Bulgarian words in like Rila, around Rila Mountain, and Vidin, like
they're very different.
Where was I? Like in a city, I don't remember. I was very young, and I went there, and a woman in the souvenir shop started talking to me. No.
You didn't know what she was saying?
Not a single word. I didn't understand her. She was like, yep. I didn't.
I feel like there are some words that are different, but the big thing is the different accents. Like, you know, I have a more Midwestern accent, which is hard to tell. Kind of, it's a softer one, but it's not like a Southern accent or even like a California one. Like sometimes the accents are like, whoa! Give me a second, slow down. What are you saying? Yeah, less so the words.
Well, here in Zikova, we should study British English, right? Well, I went to the UK, and my first ever British person that I've met on the airport while checking my passport, I didn't understand anything he said. It was a disaster. Me and Dara were like, what are you talking about? Like,
you're used to having an American to talk to, I guess.
Yeah, and he was the guy there. I got what he said, but it took me some time to analyze what the actual was going on. So then there was a guy on the airport from Welsh.
Yeah, he was okay.
Yeah, and we met a guy from Scotland.
That's a hard accent.
He was talking about something like a bus or something. I didn't get it. Me and Dara were like, what? Yeah, so if you talk to Scottish people, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys.
I would agree. Even as like a native English speaker, sometimes I don't know what they're saying.
It was very hard. Yeah. So my last question for you: what's a typical American holiday like for you and your family? What's a typical American holiday? What do you guys do? Where do you go? How do you travel?
Well, I'm trying to think of which holiday to do. I guess maybe should I do one that's only in America?
Yeah, like...
Because, like, Christmas, you know, there's
Yeah.
Christmas here.
Or summer holiday. What do you do?
I mean, a big summer holiday is the 4th of July or Independence Day. And that's always a fun holiday because of the time of year that it's in. I've talked about this recently where, like, if American Independence Day was, like, November 3rd or whatever, it wouldn't be as fun because it'd be, like, cold and dark. But Independence Day in July is really fun because the weather is amazing, and it means typically, like, you're going to the beach or a pool or a lake, and, you know, everyone has off of school, and you have, like, a big barbecue, and then there's fireworks, and it's just very festive because it just is it's a day off during the summer.
Yeah.
And so you just get to spend it outside with your family.
And it's a special day.
It is a special day, yeah.
Historically speaking.
Very, very big day.
Yeah.
And there's, like, a lot of parades, and there's typically, like, some, like, festival things where the fireworks are, and so that's an exciting day just because of the fun around it. Yeah, the vibes.
Well, unfortunately, in Bulgaria, Independence Day is
March 3rd.
I think it's September.
Oh, because you guys have two.
No, one is like the freeing of the country. That's March 3rd.
Okay.
And then Independence is
I remember in September. It was like right
22nd.
Yeah, it was like kind of right when I first came to Sweden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they're not celebrated. They're not like acknowledged because here, I can see a few Facebook posts about it, and they will say, like on the news, how many years have gone by since the Independence Day, but it's just people don't really care, I think.
Yeah, which is interesting because I do think that there's a lot of pride in Bulgarians about their national identity, but maybe it's just the time of year. Like,
yeah, probably. and not a lot of people know the Bulgarian history, which is embarrassing, and I think they don't know it. Whoa, wait. I say
put a beep.
Put a beep because my English teacher is gonna be like, whoa. Yeah, so that was these are my questions for you. I think it was a very fun interview because I
had a lot of fun.
It's one of the funniest episodes I've ever done because I'm actually period Queen Soraya slay. Slay. Yeah.
I have a question for you. Can I ask?
Yes.
So, I'm your 4th American English teacher?
Yeah. True.
Like, how do you think seeing an American every year has, like, affected your schooling, or just, like, has it had any effect on, like, your interest in English? Because, you know, you're like, oh, the Americans, like, a new American's here. Like, they just come every year.
No, actually, it was never annoying that we have to take classes with an actual native English speaker. And my English got better, I have to say. Because when the first year in 9th grade, our teacher, like, first of all, you guys are from a different place of the States. Like, so every single year I get to know about a different state and a different city. And we haven't had people, you know, from Texas, for example, because that's a state I'm interested in. I want to know about Texas. But we got to know about Wisconsin and I think Nebraska, Washington, D.C. too. And we got to know about America as well, like people who live there. Because on the news, not a lot of good things. On TikTok, but when you guys come to me and say, oh, I love In-N-Out, I love Chipotle, like, tell me more about it. Like, I want to know, where do you go? Like, show me your school, show me your cinema, show me your mall. I don't know if you have malls. And, like, your parks. It's like, I want to know about your daily life. And my English got better and my cultural
understanding
got better, and you turn out to be good people, so I made some friends.
Okay, yes, that's good.
And I always can text like Tessa, well, wait, какво ще да казвам, да се забравих мисълта, това ще го изрежеш. Wait, I forgot what I was about to say. Like this, like, I should come to the States. Yeah, you should. And when I go to the States one day, I hope in Chicago.
Then you have plenty of places to visit.
Yeah, I'm like, Soraya.
Call me up for real.
I'm in Wisconsin. Where are you?
No,
Pick me up.
Please do that.
Yeah, so it will be very fun. And having friends from another country is always a good thing. And you have friends here.
Yeah, for sure.
So you can always come back.
I want to, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad it's such a positive experience for you.
Yeah, it's definitely a positive experience.
And thank you for having me on the podcast.
Of course.
I had a lot of fun, although very hot.
Yeah, I'm about to die.
Yeah.
So let's close the episode. So thank you, Soraya.
Of course.
I hope we keep like contact and talk, because it's very important. And thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next episode. Bye.